Alright, so a couple of days ago, I made a video on the boss, or the captain. Someone who has been insinuated and shown in flashbacks, and we see a connection to Yule and Kell, easily one of the most mysterious characters in the entire series. And recently, one of my patrons, supersonicgood, sent me this translation that they did from a Korean YouTuber. I'll leave the link down below to the original video, but I think this is super fascinating from what I've seen. You know, I love this. I love working with the Korean, Tower of God community as well. It's just super neat to like compare ideas and stuff. So I'm gonna spend this video going over this document, sort of going over the terms and ideas that are present, and maybe in the future continue this topic because I think it needs to be discussed. You may notice this isn't like my usual recording setup, it looks like I'm doing a stream. That's because I didn't have much time today. I was busy today, so this is the best I could do. Still pumping out a daily video, and I do think it's gonna make for good content regardless, so hopefully you can forgive me for the sort of lackluster editing that's gonna be present here. All right, so note, the boss, captain, and leader in line webtoon are used interchangeably. The original webtoon always refers to them as that figure, and they use a specific term. So this confirms that the boss and the captain, they're the same person. Like that same Korean word is used. So for some reason, line just translates it differently or uses two different words. Who knows why, it's webtoon. I will stick to the boss most of the time in this translation. Hello, today I will talk about the stories of the boss, the unsolvable mystery. I like the way that's put. The boss has servants, Yule, Kell, Levi, etc. Yule works with Kell as a team, but Levi moves independently. Levi, of course, being the individual on the last station that Rack completely obliterated. The first appearance was Levi. Levi is a regular who is supported by the royal family and is said to have received the power to use spells by the grace of the king. Seeing that the other regulars are loyal to the king until they become rankers, I can't think of them as being under the boss. That's an interesting way to look at it because they clearly are loyal to the boss. Additionally, Levi is seriously trying to kill Bomb. This is an incomprehensible behavior to the readers who have seen the boss in season 3. That's a good point, which sort of leads me to believe Levi is most likely working independently like this person says, and I think that's also why Yule says, "Ow, Levi, he left," or something like that, like Levi's no longer in contact, so that could be why. It was shown that Levi was chasing after Bomb in season 3, even after being defeated by Bomb and Rack. When it was to capture Bomb or capture companions, it seems to be a mission from the boss. Right. If you look at season 3 episode 1, it's revealed that Yule is under the same affiliation as Levi from the pocket call with the boss. During this call, the boss suggests that the tale of Bomb fighting a ranker and surviving must have been exaggerated since he didn't see it himself. Again though, this might not be the same boss. It probably is, but Yule even says, like if you watch my video I mentioned this and I show the panel, he even says, I might be talking to a different boss now than I was originally working with. In addition, the boss asks if the bargaining material is acquired, what could be this bargaining material he's trying to receive from Bomb's team? Well, I assumed he just meant, capturing Iwa and Danwa, but I still do not know after reading all of season 3. What Yule and Kell did was for the sake of accompanying Bomb's team with the condition of telling where Hodgson was locked up. Would they hold hostage simply to accompany Bomb's team? What is the reason for accompanying them? Really good point. I've actually never really thought about that. Like, is their goal for Bomb to rescue Jin Sung? Like, it seems like they're just very pro-Bomb, if that's the case. But then again, like, you don't have to go along with them to do that. Yule at this time looks like he didn't transmit his location to the boss yet. The boss would supposedly reveal his location when he gains trust for Bomb, but I think it is merely just a comment to buy more time. I think the boss already trusts Bomb. Considering that snakes are almost never shown in a good light in Tower of God, Yule's laugh is portrayed wickedly, as if he'll betray them later. I would like it though if Yule maybe was like sort of countering that usual stereotype of the snake being bad, I don't know. When Yule learns the truth that Bomb will go with Yama and thus be separated from him, he says that it's different from the plan. That's because he has to keep Bomb under his surveillance. The boss is first shown during Dowan's recollection. This is 3 months before Dowan is sealed. A nameless adventurer. Adventurer is a word that Data Jihad used to describe himself for his introduction. Now this is getting interesting. The first and the greatest adventurer. Why did the boss say he was a nameless adventurer? And also, this was so long ago that it's like, if this is a son or clone of Jihad, how many adventures would you have been able to go on? You know what I mean? Like, you would have had to be born right away. The boss has the ability to see the future. In contrast to Jahad, he was aware of the existence of bomb. That's a good point. The boss even accurately predicts that Doan will encounter bomb after she wakes up. This ability is in fact a better prediction than any other guide in Tower of God. That's what I'm saying, dude. How does the boss know all this? This is kind of wild. Yule appears when Doan is pondering about what to do with bomb. He instantly arrives. Yule states that this situation is exactly what the boss said will happen, and Yule then conveys the boss's words to Doan. Again, if you need the refresher on this, the details are in the video I made. The boss's words spoken from Yule seem to match the identity of the boss that Doan met. The boss informs Doan that the identity of the boy is an irregular, something he didn't tell her in the past. This scene, the one where Yule is thinking to himself, is the biggest hot topic, usually a piece of information that is unsolved, and the most mysterious. What this conveys seems to be that the boss doesn't seem to be the boss he knew. Exactly, bro. Again, I actually didn't read this whole document, so it's confirming everything I was saying. Then does this mean the boss is the person who met Doan? If that's the case, then the point that the boss knows Jahad justifies the boss's appearance shown later. I don't completely understand, but there seems to be the boss and another person impersonating the boss, considering how Yule is conflicted about it. When Mashni briefs the Tower of God readers about the nest, thank you Mashni, she says that she expects invaluable information only known to herself and a select few to be passed on to Bomb, which would lead him to come to the nest looking for Jinsung Ha. The superficial boss, leading Yule Kellen Levy, could be seen as someone who has a connection with Jahad HQ. Interesting, so this is assuming that the person who is now or who was in contact with Yule, I think the person might be insinuating that there's a fake boss now talking to them. I think it's reversed, but maybe I'm reading it wrong. Subsequently, Yule calls the boss in a plural form by saying those captains. Right, I did mention this as well. It became more likely that there could be two or more individuals that are the boss. Through Yule, the boss tells Bomb's team that Ha Jin-sung will be moved to the nest. It is nonsensical that Jahad would have someone who can even predict the boss telling Bomb about the nest, so it is reasonable to assume that the boss is someone who is affiliated with Jahad's army. Mention that too. So-O, a guide who is presumed to be a high ranker, says that the boss has better access to more intel than guides. So that confirms it. You know, he knows way too much. The boss also went to visit Cha. Cha, being sealed voluntarily, was also a part of the boss's big picture. The boss tells Cha that Bomb will be the one to make Cha's wish come true. Although Cha's wish cannot be ascertained exactly, I wonder if it might be the death of Jahad, okay, or the collapse of Jahad and the 10 Great Families system. The reason for such a wish is because it's likely that the first man was also put in place by Jahad and the 10 Great Families. Afterwards, the boss reappears during another Doan recollection. When Doan asks if Bomb can go on a different path than Jahad, the boss replies that she'll just have to wait and see. Then the boss says that he knew Jahad since way back, and that Jahad wasn't that kind of guy in the past. In summary, the boss has a noble lineage and destiny, and is aware that Bomb is the one who will slit Jahad's throat, but he isn't certain that Bomb won't end up following the same path as Jahad. Bro, this is literally the talking points I made. This makes me feel so much better, because I went into that video basically blind and just sort of suggesting things. That seems to be the reason why the boss tells Doan that he's curious what story Bomb will end up writing. Line translated it as curious to see how far the boy will go. Wait, dude, you gotta go with the original translation. Are you kidding me? He's curious what story Bomb will end up writing? That's awesome. To summarize, here we go. The boss is a senior Jahad army officer who can obtain command level intel. That isn't confirmed, but it is something that would make sense because the stuff he knows, but then again, like, he knows crazy stuff anyway, even outside of Jahad's army. I don't know. Considering that he knew what Jahad was like in the past and calls him that guy, he has thoughts or ideas that go against Jahad's rule. There's the boss that predicts everything and paints the big picture, while there's also a separate entity with the same alias who is under the protection of Jahad. That's the part that confuses me. That's the part that I'm not even sure, like, okay, why? Or like, what do you mean? So which boss is which? This is saying the boss who spoke to Cha and Doan is not the same one who's working for Jihad? So both bosses command this level of intellect, but they're not the same person. I think that's really interesting. I do wish that the boss appears around the end of the next battle and gives some exposition about the Prince of the Red Light District, since he's one of the most mysterious characters out there. That would be hype. I really hope he shows up. That was the boss review. Thank you. Hey, huge shout out because that was awesome. That was a really awesome review. Shout out to this YouTuber. I can't pronounce their name, but you know, awesome. I'm gonna leave a like here. Huge shout out for making a video like that. Love to see the content. I really do think that they might be onto something regarding their, because, you know, Levy, I mean, Yule said there are multiple captains, multiple bosses, right? Clearly something is going on. So now it's just like, okay, were they two different people? The one talking to Doan and Cha before, and the one that's like leading Yule and Kel, but they both know this intellect. You know, it's just strange. It is strange because sometimes it's just the boss and sometimes it's multiple captains. So I don't know, I really like this. This was really cool. So huge shout out to supersonicgood who translated this video. I think it's so awesome to hear what the Korean YouTubers are saying and like comparing it to what I'm saying. And it's like, yo, wait, we're on the same page. Like it's super cool, but they of course also bring information that I never thought about. And it just really adds to the Tower of God community. I would love to do more videos like this. I think it's super cool. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Normally my videos aren't like this. Normally it's more editing. I'm in the booth, you know, with the new camera and stuff. But this is the best I could do for today. But still, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in tomorrow's Tower of God live stream chapter reaction to Tower of God chapter 101 of season 3. Take care, everyone.